Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
What's happening, Dan?
Oh, mate, I'm back on.
Oh good, the stag beetle. You've tried the wasp.
Black Shadow.
For the Black Shadow?
That's what it's been called. That's what it's been named by the kids. So
is there a reason you always...
Is
there a reason you always buy smart cars, Dan?
So I mean, mate, it's nippy and cheeky, do you know what I mean? So got one of them. Cheap, mate, isn't they?
This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens, mate.
This is James Helder.
It goes down.
For IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. I'm in the Black Shadow with Danny, Cassius, Connor, just on our way to some kind of gymnasium, I presume. How are you, Dan?
Not too bad, mate. How's things?
Everything's alright, everything's alright. Look like you caught a bit of the sun, mate.
Been out grafting, aren't I, mate?
Been grafting, yeah?
On the sides, bro, aren't I? Grafting my laptop, so yeah.
Go on, boy.
Catching the sun.
Go on, boy. Is it hard for you for when you're sort of getting a lot of profile attention, a lot of media, and sort of everything's going well, so then when you're not sort of fighting, to sort of putting the work in differently?
I'll tell you a story, yeah? Not long after, well actually I can't remember when it was, when I think it was after the last big fight I had. I don't know if it was Boylan, yeah it was Boylan actually, it was just before the Boylan fight. I was working in Sainsbury's, yeah, stacking shelves and that in the mornings, but the thing is you can't, sooner or later you've got to sort of do something with yourself. So I was always ducking and diving a little bit, and then I thought, you know what, I need to knock it out of my head and be a bit more straight with my life, you know what I mean? So when I went and started working in Sainsbury's, didn't I? Yeah, on the D-Lo, mate, and I thought no one would see me, yeah. At 4 o'clock in the mornings I was starting, and I was finishing at 8, so no one would see me, yeah. Anyway, one day I decided to do some overtime, yeah, a couple of hours overtime in the morning. It was a Sunday morning, and 2 pissheads come in, yeah, and went, oh, you're Danny Connor, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, and they went, I thought you was a boxer, what happened to you, and all that, and they give me some proper stick about boxing and they fucking ruined me, bruv, to be honest. But yeah, so it is hard. I mean, there is certain things that make it hard, namely things like that. But listen, this is real life, baby. Do you know what I mean? We've all got to we've got to earn a few quid. So however you make it, that's however you make it. And anyway, I'm on the way up in work-wise anyway. Like, so boxing's gonna work for me, but even if it didn't, it wouldn't really matter. But I know it will. That's all I really think about, mate, lately, to be honest, is boxing. So that's it.
I can relate to that story a little bit, because obviously with IFL TV, before things sort of got where we was busy to work all the time, I had to work part-time. I was working in the listener. I remember my mate's mum coming in, and even Boylan's sister coming in. I'm sitting there with my muggy name tag on. People expecting me to be flying around the world.
Bad, isn't it?
I'm sitting there selling gym memberships.
People think you're rich because you do boxing. Do you know what I mean? People think that you're rich and because they see you doing it.
Or media.
Yeah, it's the same thing, mate. It just ain't like that, mate. I've got 2 jobs. Do you know what I mean? I do scaffolding, and I do door work. I can't remember the last time I had a day off. Do you know what I mean? So. And I'm training as well, like training in the evenings.
You've got to be one of the best bouncers going, haven't you? You'll definitely bring ID next week type of fella, aren't you?
Yeah. No, do you know what, mate? I'm laid back and I have a laugh with everyone, yeah. But the bosses don't always like that. But I even nearly got sacked because I take the piss too much, like taking the piss out of people and that. But it's only even before that. But it's nice to it's nice to get a jokey sort of feel with someone, like, so they think you're not so serious. Do you know what I mean? And because you go in there and you put people on edge trying to act like a nutter and that, people don't like it. They don't like it, though, do they? Do you know what I mean? They think, fucking hell, who's this? Like, do you know what I mean? But if you go in there and you're having a laugh with them, it puts people at ease a bit, don't it?
I suppose you're meant to sort of react and stop problems before they happen, rather than some bouncers can probably cause more problems than they can maybe solve.
You know when you've got a cunt in the venue, do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them ones. But yeah, I'll just get on with everyone, mate. I just have a laugh. You know what I'm like, I just have a laugh with everyone. But some people don't like that, so I'll get over it, do you know what I mean?
What's going on with the boxing then? I know you're waiting on a date potentially.
What's
happening?
Since I beat Boylan, I thought things would take off for me. Since I schooled Boylan, may I say, I thought things would take off for me. But They haven't, do you know what I mean? I signed with MGM, that's a massive thing for me. They've proper looked after me as well. Like, when I signed with them, they went out of their way to make sure everything was alright for me, and doing things like Daniel, the advisor, the top guy, Dan, who's like, I mean, he's a top fella, looked after me really well, was, you know, advised me what to do, advised me on certain situations, and they all looked after me wicked, got me out there, got me fights. But when you sign with someone new, like some of MGM, I expect they're just getting a feel of what I'm all about as a fighter, as a person. I'll rip the life out of them on the phone all the time, messaging them, oh, what's going on, am I fighting, when am I fighting, what's going on, like, who am I fighting, and they must hate me, and you know what I mean. I know Daniel probably wishes that he was nothing to do with me as an advisor, but listen, at least it proves to them that I want it, do you know what I mean? I'm still training, like I said, I'm on it all the time, I'm training every day, just living the life as a pro, but I've got to work as well, so it's just one of them things. But listen, I've been promised a big fight soon, and I know them guys are going to deliver, you know what I mean? They don't make promises that they can't keep, so it's just about, you know, patiently waiting, and when something comes, seizing my opportunity.
The shows that you've sort of fought on in the past, you've obviously been quite a big ticket seller, but you've had some big local derbies, haven't you? So
yeah, of course,
it helps you sell tickets. Do you need sort of good opponents to get sort of people behind you around it? Because there is quite a few boxers around there, isn't there?
It's getting like that now, you know, because like when I boxed Boylan or whatever, and Tony Owen, I've done loads of tickets, more for the Boylan fight. I've done like 900 tickets for the Boylan fight. So many people wanted to see me beat him, do you know what I mean? So I've done, like I said, 900 tickets for that fight. It's unbelievable, do you know what I mean? I think I even sold more tickets than he did.
So when you're fighting and come down to fighting sort of an international opponent,
but yeah,
you've got sort of tickets, is it harder having had them sort of two local derbies with Owen and Boylan? Yeah,
I boxed at Tolworth last time out for like a challenge belt, an 8-rounder. Any sort of title I usually do 200 or 300 tickets for, but for that one, like, I only done like sort of 140 tickets, I barely broke even. But you know what it is, people are starting to realise, you know, people don't want to see you in there with international opponents. Even though that fella came to win, and he definitely had a go, you know what I mean, he was a big fella, he come to have a go, he come to win. People don't want to see it, they want to see you in with people that they know, people like names, you know what I mean? And, that's one good thing about MGM as well, they've got a lot of good fighters signed up to their stable, and they're going to start putting us all in against each other, I think. So that's,
are you open to that? Are
yeah,
you up for these sort of fights?
We're all teammates, don't get me wrong. If I go to a fight and there's an MGM fighter fighting, mate, I'm cheering for that guy no matter what, yeah? But obviously if we're going to fight against each other, then we're going to fight against each other, you know. I'm a lightweight / light welter, you know, wherever there is a big fight come up, if it's worth my while and it's worth the opportunity, then I'll take it. But you know, if they was going to chuck me in with people like Kofi Yates, Kavanagh, Stalker, you know, people like that, Tommy Martin, you can't say no to bit fights like that, do you know what I mean? Because they're, all them guys are like higher up than me, maybe barring Kofi Yates. I think me and Kofi are about the same in terms of levels. But all them other guys, you look at Jamie Kavanagh, who was out of the team, who was out of the wild card, Stalker, Olympic captain, doing the absolute bollocks now. He's improved a million times with Danny Vaughan, do you know what I mean? Tommy Martin, he's like a household name in terms of boxing, like over here now with like the boxing fans and that. So yeah, any of them, you know, any of the guys in the stable, if they're fighting someone else, I'm with them. I'm 100% with them guys, yeah. Like Stalker's fighting Craig Evans soon.
Third time, great fight as well.
Stalker's going to look. No disrespect.
Credit to both of them for making that as well, because that's a big fight for both of them. Make or break, really. Third time, you know what I mean?
Stalker's going to win, mate. Stalker's going to win. He's like a different man recently, you know. And I've got massive respect for Craig Evans as a fighter. Don't know him as a person, but Tom Stalker is one of the nicest fellas you meet. You know what I mean? And I know he's going to go out there and do the business for everyone, you know, for the team, for himself, for a lovely family, and that's good luck to him. Tommy Martin the same, lovely kid, you know what I mean? And I met Jamie Kavanagh once or twice. He's a nice guy as well. But like I said, business is business, you know what I mean? And friends is friends. And if we end up fighting, we end up fighting. But if not, I'll always support them guys because we're part of the same team, you know what I mean? You right, mate?
Yeah, just getting a bit comfortable. Obviously, we've had the press conference last week for Anthony Crolla v Jorge Linares. Massive fight, unification fight,
giant fight, isn't it?
big opportunity for Anthony Crolla to cement a legacy in the sport as he sees it. How do you see that one playing out? What are your thoughts on that?
You know what it is, yeah? Crolla, he just seems to get better and better. Like everyone that they stick him in with, he's always the underdog, ain't he? The last guy he fought, that guy that banged out Mitchell, I forget his name now. He was looking like a serious, like he could be like.
You mean Ismael Barroso?
Barroso, that's the man, yeah. But he was looking like a serious threat, weren't he? Do you know what I mean? And then Crolla come up there and went and took him to school, smashed him to pieces, mate. And do you know what? I think he's going to do a job on Linares. I like Linares as a fighter, as a person. He seems like a really nice guy and that. But I think that Crolla is a man on a mission, and I think that he's a tough man to get hold of as well. Once he gets in the rhythm, and he's on the, he's like one of them. He's got so much hustle and bustle to his work, Crolla. I think that he'll beat Linares on points. I think he'll get on his chest, and I think he'll beat him on points.
If he does happen to beat Linares, how does that rate in terms of a British fighter?
Yeah, it's a massive performance. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, you know, it's not like him going and beating Mayweather, is it? Or like one of them massive. Or it's not like him.
Still a 3-time.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know. Do you know Linares just lacks that? He just lacks that superstar appeal that say like. If Liam Smith goes and beats Canelo, it's a different sort of thing, ain't it? Do you know what I mean? Or if Kell Brook goes and beats Golovkin, it's a different thing. You know, it's still a massive win. Linares, to the boxing people, they know how good Linares is. But Triple G and people like that, Alvarez, they're sort of known just outside. They're pushing sort of mainstream superstardom sort of thing, and I don't think that Linares has got that yet. But I think Crolla will beat him, and hopefully he can go on and get some like massive fights, even if he has to step up a weight division. I reckon he'll probably do that.
What about the Terry Flanagan fight? Manchester unification.
I don't think that's a massive fight, mate.
You don't think it's a massive fight?
I don't think it's a big fight. I think Flanagan lacks like mainstream appeal. No one really knows who Terry Flanagan is. You go down the street and you ask people who they know out of Crolla and Flanagan, people know who Crolla is. You know what I mean? People aren't gonna, I don't think Flanagan's known to the hardcore boxing fans and that, but I don't think he's as mainstream. Crolla's definitely the A side in that argument, I think. Might be wrong, but that's just what I think. You know, it's my opinion on it. So I don't know.
You mentioned Liam Smith going out to defend his strap against Saul Canelo Alvarez. Massive fight in Dallas, and I'm excited. I said to you, I'll back Liam. I think he's a great fighter and very underrated, and hopefully Canelo hasn't sort of picked up on how good Liam Smith actually is.
No, I think Liam Smith can beat him, mate. I honestly do. I think that he gets on him and works and pushes him back like we all know he can. I think that he beats Canelo. Canelo is good, don't get me wrong, he's great technically, but Liam Smith, if you look at him, if you watched him, I'm telling you, you wouldn't think there was nothing too great about him. He doesn't look spectacular, does he? But then he gets in there and he does the job every single time. There's just something about him which, you know, it sets him apart from other people. I don't know what it is, but I think he's just a lot better than he looks. And he always gets the win, don't he? So you can't argue with an undefeated record, can you?
We've got obviously coming up as well, starting massive fight. Gennady Golovkin coming out to face Kell Brook. Big test for Kell.
Yeah,
probably the deepest water he could have got himself into, stepping up in weight the way he has. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Oh, Triple G's an animal, isn't he? He's a beast. But him and Brook is going to be a wicked occasion, a great fight. But as much as I'd love to back Kell Brook, I don't know. I just think that when he boxed Porter, I think Porter gave him a bit of trouble, to be honest. Like, although Kell won, it was a really close fight. It was a close fight, do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And I just think Triple G is 2 or 3 levels above Porter. I might be wrong, like I said, but I think that Triple G will stop him. That's just my opinion. But I think Triple G will stop him. I think he'd be too big. He's just that bit too skilled. He's easy to hit though, you know what I mean? If Kell catches him early and jumps on him and lets him know that, you know what I mean, he's in there, you don't know, mate, he might do a Drago, you know what I mean? It might be Rocky Drago 2 all over again, you don't know, do you? But on paper, you'd favour Triple G, wouldn't you? Although, I think also a good fight on that card, Charlie Edwards, mate, against Casimero.
What have you
Charlie's
seen of
going to be.
Casemiro?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of him. I've watched a few videos of him on YouTube and stuff like that. And he's an awkward fighter, do you know what I mean? And he can punch a little bit. It's going to be a tough fight, a tough night for Charlie. But listen, you can't hit what you can't. You know what I mean? You can't hit what you can't see. And I think that Charlie's going to beat this guy. I think he's going to show him about the levels, and Charlie's going to show people how good he actually is. I think Charlie can beat him. I can see that Casemiro walking onto something, because I think that once he gets frustrated and he's coming forward, I think he might end up walking onto a shot, and Charlie might even get a late stoppage. But I'm telling you now, mate, they can't sleep on Charlie Edwards. Do you know what I mean? Kid's come from nothing and he's come up. He's done it the hard way. You know what I mean? Done really well for himself. I've known him for years, and no one deserves it as much as Charlie does. Believe me. So I think Charlie's going to win that. I'm going to be a new world champion in the UK. That on September the 10th.
Can you ever see Kell Brook fighting a 147 again? Win or lose?
Yeah, I think he'll go back. I don't know about 147, but I think for a fight like a big fight, like if they offered him Brona at 147 or something like that, or Maidana maybe at 147, I think, you know, money talks. So
Maidana's actually sort of doing structure. I'm led to believe he is now officially retired as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sorry to bring the news out on you.
No, that's alright, mate. I'm gutted about that. But yeah, he's for like Brona, for instance, like a big, or a Porter, Thurman, someone like that, like a big name at the weight. They're chucking money at you, millions of dollars. Then it's not gonna matter about weight. You know what I mean? You're gonna get your weight down, but he's got a good team around him, ain't he, Kel? Do you know what I mean? He's got Eddie and all that looking after him. So obviously they're going to get him the best offers and the best opportunities. So
does Errol Spence in your eyes fall into
quality,
that bracket? Obviously, we saw what he done to Bundu recently.
I think he's going to be one of them guys that people are going to avoid. Errol Spence, he looks the real deal, doesn't he? He looks the full package, but again, like no one's done that to Bundu. But then again, if you look at the levels, like Bundu ain't really fought anyone top world class. Like, don't get me wrong, he's boxed Frankie Gavin, who was a world class amateur, and Lee Purdy, people like that. But he hasn't really beat anyone. I think it was a massive step up to just go and fight Spence. Do you know what I mean? But I think, you know what I mean, if there's anyone that could beat someone like Errol Spence, it's Kell Brook. So I think he'd always be open to that fight. But again, what I said is, it's money, innit? It's all about the money, mate. It's all about the dollars. So
Ward Kovalev, big fight.
Ward would be too clever for him.
You see that one playing out.
Ward would be too clever for him. Kovalev can punch and he can box a little bit, but it's one thing beating someone, you know, one thing beating Bernard Hopkins when he's past it and he's on his way like down. It's another thing beating Andre Ward, who for me is the #1 pound for pound boxer in the world. So yeah, I think Kovalev is just going to get smothered. He's going to get frustrated and he's going to get beat. If he can get beat down, he might even get stopped. But then again, you know, Darnell Boone had Ward over, so if Kovalev catches him, makes for an interesting fight, don't it? But I just don't think he will catch him. Ward's something special, ain't he? So I think Ward will beat him late stoppage.
How excited are you the fact that you have got the two best guys in that division putting it on the line? And
yeah, it's quality, ain't it?
You don't seem to be seeing this enough in the divisions across the board.
You see it in MMA all the time, don't you? But you just don't see it in boxing so much. You know, I'd love for boxing to get some sort of blueprint like the UFC got to go in there, where they put everyone, all their best against each other, which is another thing why MGM is the team to be with. Do you know what I mean? Because they're making all them good fights, they're making all them big fights. All the best are going to fight the best. Hopefully, maybe that's the plan. All the best are going to fight the best. So, yeah, at the end of the day, that's another reason why MGM are good to be with. Like I said, this happens in the UFC all the time, but boxing for some reason it just seems to take that little bit longer to make fights. Don't know why. It's a bit annoying, really, but what can you do? It's just one of them things, ain't it?
Listen, Dan, I appreciate you giving me a bit of time today. Congratulations on the win against Nate Diaz as well.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was exceptional, to tell the truth.
Yeah, I definitely think I'll box his ears off.
Trilogy. It's got to be a trilogy, isn't it?
He done the nuts, didn't he? He boxed the bollocks, didn't he?
I didn't watch it, to be honest.
Do you know what, mate? I watched
Not
it
in a bad way. I was away, so.
I watched it after a night at work, so I came back and I was fucked, mate. I was well tired. I watched 1 and 2. I thought he won, and then I remember him getting a beating in the 3rd round. And then I sort of dozed off and fell asleep, and I woke up and I sort of see that it was like that, and I thought in my mind Diaz won that, but it was just because I think the third round was sort of third last round. But then once I watched it back, thought McGregor won it. But I'd love to see him fight again. If he fights Diaz at 155, which he obviously is the weight below 170, I think it will stop him. Diaz like loses something when he goes down to 155, so hopefully that fight gets made again. No, that's a sick fight.
Anything else you want to touch on before we disappear?
Just want to say a big thank you to my main sponsor, Maxine Green, aka Mama K's Cakes. Her cakes are the nuts. Honestly, have a look down my page. She's the top girl. Anyone needs any cakes, give her a call. She's the nuts. And BoxFit UK, thank you to them. Oh, and also the Meat Man, best meat. Honestly, you're better than Muscle Food. Just putting it out there, Muscle Food and shit.
Big statement.
The Meat Man is the one. So yeah.
Just got to say, Muscle Food, don't listen to what Mr. Collar says. We appreciate the great work you do, and Muscle Food meat is very good, I may add.
Yeah, Meat Man's better, but yeah, whatever.
I ain't tried the Meat Man's meat. You ain't invited me around for any meat, so...
Have some of my meat if you want.
That's right, I'm alright for the meat. Meat problem's alright.
Right, whatever.
Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.